Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Bug Discussions podcast, the channel, man. Yo, whatever you want to call it, it is the man J Coops back for another episode of J Coops Clips. And in this episode, man, we got to go ahead and talk about an unfortunate loss that my Clippers took yet once again. You know what I'm saying, in a very terrible fashion to the Sacramento Kings, where they played a pretty, decent first half, but then the second half, as usual, they just collapsed. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, man, let's get straight into it. Clippers' loss last night was a very, very detrimental loss when you're talking about standings, because all season they have been pretty much a top 4 seed, but now that the Dallas Mavericks and also the New Orleans Pelicans have been taking off over the past month and a half, the Clippers are only ahead of both those teams by 2 games. So every game down the stretch kind of matters at this point, and they lost another, important game down the stretch, of course. But in this game, they were missing Kawhi. But still, there's no reason where you should be getting blown out by the Sacramento Kings when they're missing Kevin Huerter and also Malik Monk. And there is still a real possibility that the Clippers could end up in the play-in tournament after being a top 4 seed all season. You know, they had that 25-6 stretch, but after that, they kind of just went downhill. And, that 25-6 stretch really helped them get the record straight. And it kind of, gave them a little leeway, but now it's like they just kind of gave up going towards the end of the season, and they got to step it back up because there are 7 games left, and if they don't, like I said, there's still a chance that these guys could end up in the play-in. But as for the Sacramento Kings game, it also was not that encouraging, seeing them lose by 14 points to the Sacramento Kings in Sacramento. It was 109-95 in favor of the Kings, and the Clippers just looked very lackluster. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those same old stories where it's like they looked decent in the first half, and they kind of just crumbled going into the second half, and it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? They got down pretty big in the first half, but then ended up only making it a 6-point game at the half. You know what I'm saying? So they were still in there, but they were down by double digits as early as the second quarter. You know what I'm saying? So the Clippers, they have just looked very lackluster, and it is not too encouraging going into the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, with only 7 games left in the regular season, it's just not ideal. You know what I'm saying? It's not ideal playing like this. James Harden was absolutely terrible. We will get into that a little bit later. But yeah, man, as for the first half, man, it was a pretty lackluster first half for both teams, I should say, because both the Kings and the Clippers missed their first 4 field goals, you know what I'm saying? So it was a pretty rough start, but I will say Terrence Mann ended up having the Clippers' first 4 points for the team around the 8.5-minute mark in the first. You know what I'm saying? He was getting stuff going for the Clippers, having an all-right game. And I will say Terrence Mann, he was playing some actually pretty good defense in the first half, you know what I'm saying? Getting around screens and just contesting shots. There was a shot that Keegan Murray pulled up, on the baseline. He was driving in and stepped back on the baseline. Terrence Mann was right there guarding it. He hit it anyway, man. Keegan Murray has been hooping, but it was good defense. It was a good contest. So, yeah, man. But James Harden, man, he got his first points around the 8-minute mark when he got a drive to the basket. And this, I will say this now, this will be some of James Harden's only points for the whole entire night, because he was so ass, man. I don't even know how else to say it. James Harden was fucking dog shit. He is getting into playoff form. Boy, you need to get your fat ass straight, because what the fuck are you doing? This man had, I said I was going to get into it later, but this man really had 7 fucking points in this game. 7 fucking points. He shot 1 of 7 and then 1 of 5 from the 3. Like, what the fuck are you doing? This motherfucker is on a contract here, trying to get a contract from another team, regardless if that's us or not, and it's not looking too good. All I'm saying is, if he keeps playing like this, that motherfucker is gonna get the vet minimum next year. You know what I'm saying? Mark my words. But as for James Harden, man, he's really been pissing me off lately, especially in this game. Just dumbass decision making. Like, I think it was a play in the first or second quarter. This man was trying to do a wraparound pass with someone guarding him, and there was 2 people in the paint for the Sacramento Kings, and he thought someone was in the paint for the Clippers. It's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like, open up your eyes. Like what? Like, I don't know. James Harden be pissing me the hell off. But I will say he was kind of carrying us at the playmaking side of things, but still, like, it was in the first half. He had like 4 turnovers, just looking sloppy, just fat and sloppy. That's all I could really say about James Harden. But as for Paul George, man, he really was getting stuff kicked off for the Clippers in this game. I will not lie. You know what I'm saying? He was just doing a little bit of everything for us. You know what I'm saying? PG with 2 back-to-back threes in the first quarter. You know what I'm saying? He hit one to put us up by, I want to say 2, because it was 9 to 8 at that point in favor of the Sacramento Kings, and he hit a 3 to put us up by 2, 11-9, and then he hit another 3, 14-9. So Paul George was getting stuff, knocked down early in the game, but like I said, as for Harden, he could not. I feel like if Harden had a decent game, not even a good game or even a great game, if he had just a decent game, there would be a chance that we probably could have won this game, because like I said, he finished the game with 7 fucking points. Like what are we doing, bro? Just absolutely terrible, you know what I'm saying? But Russ comes in, he automatically makes an impact, you know what I'm saying, in the first quarter with 2 minutes left, but he knocked down a fadeaway to put us up by 2, 21-19 in favor of the Clippers. He was just doing a little bit of everything. He finished the game with 20 points, even though most of those points came in garbage time when we were already getting our ass kicked. So, yeah, man. But shout out to Russell Westbrook. He was doing a lot of good things for the Clippers. But, at the end of the first quarter, it was tied 24-24. So I was pretty, I wouldn't say ecstatic, but I was like, I can live with this. You know what I'm saying? We're not down. We're not losing by a whole lot. And neither team is really taking off scoring-wise. You know what I'm saying? It was a pretty low-scoring game for both teams in, the first quarter, 24-24. So, yeah, man. As the Clippers got kicked off, man, the Clippers in the second quarter were 0 of 4 out of the first 4 shots in the second quarter, which was obviously not ideal because I even wrote here in my notes, we just looked a step behind offensively and defensively. It just looked like we could not keep up, even against the Sacramento team that was missing 2 very key players in Kevin Huerter and also Murray. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Harden had his first 3-pointer though around the 9-minute mark in the second quarter. You know what I'm saying? It was I want to say it was a 9-point game before he hit that 3, but after that game, it was a 6-point game. So we were within 6, 27-33. So yeah, man. I guess we'll take it. You know what I'm saying? If James Harden's gonna knock down something, might as well be a 3 because he has not been able to get to the basket or even get his floaters to fall. But around the 7-20-minute mark in the second quarter, man, the Clippers were being outscored by the Sacramento Kings bench, 24-4 points from both benches. So obviously that is not ideal. You know what I'm saying? That just hurts, especially when you have Kawhi Leonard out of the game and then you have no one out in his place to start. So it's like that's pretty much all of our bench production right there. You know what I'm saying? So that really kind of hurt us. You know what I'm saying? But Norman Powell, with around 5 minutes left, hit a 3 to put it in within 6 again. Because like I said, it was pretty much just kept catching up at this point. It was 42-48 in favor of the Kings, and we just looked like a step behind. You know what I'm saying? But I will say, going into the half, like I said, we ended up going down by double digits, but ended up coming back a little bit to put the game within 5. 51-56, so we were right there, you know what I'm saying, at half, but we just could not pull it out, you know what I'm saying, could not get it to go. But I will say, at halftime, Paul George was definitely having a very, very, decent game. He had 13 points shooting, 4 of 8 from the field and 2 of 3 from 3. And then Norman Powell also had 14 points. He was the Clippers' leading scorer going into the half. With 14 points, he was shot 3 of 5 from the field and also 2 of 2 from 3. But then James Harden ended up having 6 points at the half, and he only had 1 more point the whole entire fucking game, which is pretty, just unacceptable. But he had 6 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, and he was 1 of 5 from the field at this point. 1 of 5. James Harden, please, bro. Please, bro. I'm not even asking you to be great. Just be not dog shit. Just stop being dog shit, bro. Just please. But as for the Sacramento Kings, man, I will say these boys was hooping. There's a couple guys I could have wrote down that were, some of their leading scorers. But as for De'Aaron Fox, he had 11 points, 2 rebounds, shooting 3 of 10 from the field and 5 of 5 from the free throw line. So, he was doing this thing, getting to the free throw line, getting fouled, because you already know our people cannot guard his quick ass, you know what I'm saying? But as for Keegan Murray, man, who was my player of the game in the first half for the Sacramento Kings, he had 11 points, 3 rebounds, and he was also shooting 5 of 11 from 3. He just was hitting timely shots the whole first half in this game. Like, every time we were making a run or every time we made a shot, this motherfucker came down here, hit a 3, or just got to the rim somehow, or just pulled up for a mid-range. I will say Keegan Murray is becoming one of my favorite players to watch overall, just because I feel like he does everything, right for the most part. It's only his second year, so he's obviously still making some young guy mistakes, but he's a bucket, bro. I will say that. And then Davion Mitchell was the leading scorer for the Sacramento Kings. He had 14 points, shooting 5 of 8 from the field and 4 of 6 from 3. He was lighting us up from 3. Just not what you want to see, especially from a guy that's not even known as a 3-point shooter. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, put a hand up. You know what I'm saying? But Yeah, man, the Clippers, they weren't shooting that bad, honestly, from three at the half, but and the Kings were actually shooting pretty bad, but it just was everything else. Like, we were getting out-rebounded only by three, but just the Kings, they were just hustling more. They just wanted this game more, and that's obviously how it went, you know what I'm saying? They ended up winning the game by 14 points, so you could just tell they wanted it more. But the Clippers were shooting 40% from the field at the half and 55% from the three, compared to the 46% that the Kings were shooting from the field, and then 38% from the three. So obviously not that great from three, but they were still up by 5 points. So who actually gives a damn? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, going into the third quarter, it was around the 9-minute mark. We were hanging in there. We got it back within 4 points. You know what I'm saying? It was a pretty, low scoring game for the first 3 minutes of the second half. But it was 55-59. They just kept outdoing, throwing punches against each other. But then later on, man, the Kings, they ended up starting to make a run. You know what I'm saying? Barnes hit a three around the 7.5-minute mark to put the Kings up 10. It was 67-57, and we just kept giving up buckets. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, just not ideal. But then after that, the Kings ended up going up 12 after a Keegan Murray three around the 5-minute mark. You know what I'm saying? It was 74-62. So like I said, we were just pretty much in that 10 to 14 point range the rest of the game. After this, the Clippers just seemed to give up. They kind of just seemed to lay down after being smacked a couple times. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of just how the cookie crumbled. And honestly, there really isn't even much to say about the fourth quarter. We just got smacked, and the game just really went downhill from here. But yeah, man, I will say around the 2-minute mark in the third quarter, man, the Kings go on a run. They ended up being up by 18 at this point. It was 82-64, and we just could not get anything to fall. We couldn't get a stop. We couldn't get anything to fall. And that was pretty much just how the game just went, man. That's how the cookie crumbled, because we couldn't stay in front of anybody, and we couldn't get shots to fall. But as for the final stats, man, like I said, it was a very, very lackluster game for the Clippers overall. Paul George had an all right game, but I don't know why the fuck this man's only shooting 12 times. Like, honestly, I can't even be mad at Paul George if he was actually just missing the shots and he shot 25 times. But this motherfucker isn't even shooting like as many shots as you would want him to when Kawhi Leonard's out. Like, why the fuck is Russell Westbrook shooting more than you? Like, just make that make sense. Russell Westbrook shot 14 times in this game compared to Paul George's 12 times. And I know it's only two shot difference, but like, still, what the fuck? Those are two more shots we could have used. You know what I'm saying? But Harden, as I said, man, ended up finishing the game just having 1 point in the second half. I don't even know how the fuck you ended up doing that, especially playing as many minutes as he does. Like, I truly just don't even understand how Harden is this ass at this point. But he had 6 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. He shot 1 of 7 from the field and 1 of 5 from the 3-point line. Like, what the fuck are we doing, man? But I ain't even finna get on it, man. As long as he can step up for the playoffs, I'm not even going to be too mad. But he's looking very, very old, and he's just looking terrible right now. I'm not going to lie. But Paul George ended up finishing the game with 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and also shot 5 of 10 from the field. So Davion Mitchell was obviously the X factor for the Sacramento Kings in this game, alongside with Trey Lyles, because Trey Lyles, who's been out for a little bit, I don't even know how long, but this motherfucker came back with 15 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, shot 6 of 11 from the field. So yeah, man, just tore our ass up, you know what I'm saying? But as for the, the team stats, man, the Clippers, they shot 41% from the field and from the 3-point line, which obviously isn't ideal. But man, the Sacramento Kings, they ended up shooting 29% from the 3 and still ended up winning this game, you know what I'm saying? So that just shows you how terrible the Clippers really have been. And also, we lost the rebounding battle by 18, man. We had 38 rebounds compared to the 56 that the Sacramento Kings had, and they had 20 offensive rebounds. They had 20 second chance opportunities to score. Like, Clippers, bro, I don't know what the fuck y'all gonna do over the next couple of days, but whatever y'all do, get in the fucking gym and learn how to rebound a goddamn ball. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? We only had 38 rebounds and 9 of them were offensive. Like, bro, there's no reason we got fucking killed. Yo, bro, oh my God. Like, this is the type of shit I'm talking about, man. Clippers stay pissing me off. It don't matter what year it is. It don't matter who the fuck's on the roster. We could have a goddamn dream team, and these guys would still end up finding a way to lose to teams that they shouldn't lose to. You know what I'm saying? But oh well, what would you do? You know what I'm saying? What will you do with this Los Angeles Clippers team? Who the fuck knows? But I will say there is 7 games left in the regular season for the Los Angeles Clippers. They got the Denver Nuggets on Thursday, so hopefully they can maybe get a win. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hoping for it, but you know, I mean, I am hoping for it, but I'm not expecting a win. You know what I'm saying? Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I'll be back on here soon to probably talk about that game actually. But man, we got the playoffs coming soon, so you already know we're going to be locked in talking about the Clippers and probably some of the other teams going into the playoffs as well. So make sure you stay tuned. If you found this video useful, informational in any type of way, man, make sure you hit it with a thumbs up, or even if you found it entertaining, it would really help us over here at the Buck Discussions Podcast. But until next time, y'all, peace out and have a good day.
In the jungle like I'm Conan, count up with both hands. Switch the flow like it was broken. I'm on the road, man, making plays just like DeRozan. I shoot my shot, and that shit wetter than the ocean. I brag a lot, but with the wind and come the boasting. I made a lot from them apartments that I sold, and he didn't make it up to college. So them streets where he enrolled in. I know I'm a scholar from the moments that I was exposed in.